to light a scallop shell fire. First of all, you'll need one scallop shell and a clear area in which to light it. Make sure all the debris from around the ground is cleared. Now a fire needs three things like a triangle in order to make it work. It needs fuel, heat and oxygen. And it's a reaction between those three things that you need to have in order to make a fire go. What we need first of all is to put a few sticks in the bottom of our scallop shell. Now my advice is, if a stick sounds like a, did you hear that? Sounds like the fire. So if it's snappy like a crocodile, it means it's okay to use because the water is all dried out. Gather a few little selection of sticks that you can add to your fire. Then we need some tiny bits of wood in the form of sawdust. Pop that on the top. Then we need to build a fire using things that I refer to as sort of breakfast, lunch and dinner. You started off by giving it little things to let it grow, to feed its hunger, and then you add bigger bits so that it can feed off those. Does anyone know what this is? This is quartz from a tree, and silver birch bark, beautiful oils in that which will help it spark. Then we've got some dried flower heads. Pop those on there. This is a very exciting thing. This is called a cramp ball or a King Alfred cake, found on dead ash trees. So when you're on your walks, have a look for one of those. Apparently it's caveman's little fire lighter, and how a fire was transferred from one place to another. That is what we're going to try and light. And then you have a cheats ingredients, which is either a cotton wool pad that you fluff up so that you get all the fluffy bits. So this is the only not natural bit that we're using. Or I tend to use char cloth now, which funnily enough is a pair of jeans cut up into little pieces, and then I cook it on the fire in a tin, and then when a spark hits that, it then holds the spark long enough to light your fire. So there, put that, make sure it all is in the fire, in the scallop shell, so that nothing escapes out. And then you need your heat in the form of a fire steel. So you've got your fuel, we've got a bit of oxygen because we're outside, and we've got oxygen, we've got air underneath because I put a little raft at the bottom, and then you've got thumb holes or thumb indents, and you're just sliding one along the other to get a spark. And then what we need to do is transfer one of those sparks down to here. Now this activity takes a lot of control, perseverance, resilience, but most of all it's the perseverance, it's the ability to keep going. And as you can see, it doesn't always work first time, but if you look at the char cloth now, can you see? Got a little bit of orange. If I blow that, so I'm adding oxygen to that, and then if you can you see that little spark? Might be to get your, there we go. Little sparks are where the fire steel has dropped its little bits of steel. And by adding more air to it, we hopefully can get it to go into a flame. The cramp balls are light now because I can smell. It's quite a unique smell. It smells a bit like burnt chocolate. Still there. It's just trying to get all the other bits of tinder that we've given it to catch a light. Move that out the way, and here we go. Let's try with this. It's nearly there. There we go, little tiny flame. There we go. And then once you've got that, once you've got your flame, you can add your sticks. Take your fire and add them from the side. Never drop them from the top. Mind your fingers as you're doing it. There we go. Little mini scallop shell fire. Always be careful and make sure that you've got water near you so that you can protect your hands or the scallop shell and put the fire out, and enjoy.